Maupay adlaw sa iyong tanan. Welcome to Engineering e-learning channel. So our topic for today, under topic 1, revision of fractions, decimals, and percentage. So we have 4 subtopics. Fraction, we'll do some basic example for fraction. Then number 2, ratio and proportion. Number 3, decimal. How do we handle decimal? How do we treat them? And about number 3, percentage. Okay, we start with fraction. We are very familiar with this fraction thing. So when a 2 is divided by 3, it may be written as 2 over 3 or 2 over 3. Yes, we called it fraction. The number above the line, 2, is called the numerator, and the number below the line is your denominator. When the value of numerator is less than the value of denominator, the fraction is called a proper fraction. Again, if the numerator is lesser than denominator, we called it the proper fraction. When the value of the numerator is greater than the denominator, we called it improper fraction. For example, we have 7 over 3. It is an improper fraction and can also be expressed as mixed fraction. That is an integer and a proper fraction. Thus, the improper fraction 7 over 3 is equal to the mixed number of 2 1/3. Okay, so the improper fraction of 7 over 3 is also equal to the improper fraction 2 and 1/3. Okay, the process of simplifying a fraction by dividing the numerator and denominator by the same number, this process, we called it cancelling, or cancelling by 0 is not permissible. We multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Okay, for the next slide, we'll deal some basic example in fraction. Okay, so number 1 example, simplify 1/3 plus 2/7. There are a lot of process. Okay, the first thing we need to do in dealing fraction is we need to find the LCM, or the lowest common multiple of two denominators. So in this example, we have two denominators. We have 3 and 7. Okay, so expressing each fraction so that their denominator are 21. Okay, so let's start with 1/3 plus 2/7. So 1/3 plus 2 over 7 is also equal. Again, what is the process? We call it cancelling. We multiply the denominator with the same number. Okay, so so in this case we have 1/3 times the same number, and the other side is 7 over 7 plus the 2 over 7 times the other side 3 over 3. Okay, so we have, okay, if we do that, that is 7 over 21, and 2 times 3, 7 times 3, that is 6 over 21. Again, we copy the denominator, that is 21, 7 plus 6, or we can say that is 13 over 21. So we have an answer. Okay, so that is our answer, 13 over 21. That is our proper fraction. We can also do alternative process in solving this fraction. As you can recall in elementary, I think there was, okay, step 1, you need to determine the LCM. Okay, so first step is to determine. So our less common multiple is 21. Okay, so we determine already our less common multiple. So the 1/3 plus 2 over 7. That is LCM first. So 3 times 7, that is 21. Second step is for the fraction in 1/3. To 3 into 21 goes to 7 times the numerator. So that is this one. So we multiply this one. So that is 7 times 1. Then plus 3 times 2. Okay. So moving on, that is 7 plus 6, 21. So we have the same answer. Okay. Same process lang. Here, we use the proper of cancelling, and here, in the alternative solution, we use the property of fraction. Okay. So I hope it's clear. So I think we can move on to our next example. Okay, sample number 2. So find the value of 3 and 2/3 minus 2 and 1 over 6. So one method is to split. We need to split the mixed number into integers under fraction parts. For example, in our first fraction, we have 3 2/3 minus 2 1 6. Okay, so we need to break each fraction, this mixed fraction, since it's in mixed format, naka-mixed format siya. Okay, so let's deal with our first mixed fraction. So that is 3 plus 2/3. Okay, so same with the other side. Wait, I think this is negative. Eraser. Oops. Going back to our pen. Okay, this is negative. So they will become 2 plus 1 6. Okay. Then we'll continue to, of course, you need to multiply the sign. Become 3 plus 2/3 negative times positive, that will become negative 2. Here you multiply, we have a positive here, it will become negative, and negative times positive is still negative. That is 1 over 6. So just continue in adding. Will become 1, it will become plus 4 over 6 minus 1 6. Okay, so combining both will become 1 and 3 6, or simply 1 will become 2 1 1 and 1/2. So our answer is 1 and 1/2. Okay, so I hope it's clear. We just start with the basic muna, so we can evaluate our fraction, so we can recall some properties of fraction. Okay, class, by the way, if you have question with our discussion, just send me your message to our GC. So I will reply right away if you have some clarification with our process. But since this is a review in fraction, I'm expecting everyone is aware of this fraction example since this is only the basic one. Okay, so we have a sample number 3. Determine the value of 4. We have a mixed fraction again. We have 4 and 5/8 minus 3 and 1/4 plus 1 and 2/5. Okay, again, same process. So we need to combine again. See, a while ago we did okay, we have 4 5/8 minus 3 and 1/4 plus 1 2/5. Okay, so alam niyo na yung gagawin. So we need to combine. What will happen? Combine all the whole number and what? Okay, so that's correct. So we need to 4 minus 3 plus 1. Sign here and a plus, then the fraction 5/8 minus the 1/4 and 2/5. Continue with the process. So here we have 1 plus we have 2 plus here we need to find what? Okay, so 8 4. Okay, this is less common multiple. This is 45 times 5 minus 10 times 1 plus 8 times 2. Okay, so just continue with the process. 2 plus this is 25 minus 10 plus 16 and over 40. So this is 2 15 6 plus 16, that is 31 over 40. Do we need to reduce this one? Then going back to its original form, 231 over 40 for your mixed fraction form. Okay, so I hope it's clear with our process. Let's proceed to the next example. So example number 4, find the value of 3 over 7 times 14 over 15. Okay, so we have 3 over 7 times 14 over 15. So we need to cancel out. So 3 over 15, that is 5. So this will become 1 and this will become 5. So we rewrite it. So 1 over 7 times 14 over 5. Then moving on, we multiply it right away. So we have 1 times 14 and 7 times 5. So what will happen? Dividing the numerator and denominator by 7, it will give us, okay, so if we cancel out 14, it will become number 2 and this will be 1. Okay, so the resulting will be 1 times 2, the remaining, and 1 times 5 will become 2/5. Okay, so this process, what we did, This process is dividing both number and denominator of the fraction by the same factor. We call this process again, we defined it a while ago, we called it the cancelling process. Okay, so I hope it's clear, the cancelling process is clear to everyone. Okay, let's move to the next example. So example number 5, we have a mixed numbers again. Okay, so mixed number must be expressed always in improper fraction before we proceed to multiplication and can be fair form. Okay, so before we start, okay, what you can see is another process in cancelling. So we have 1 3 over 5 times 2 1/3 times 3 over 3 over 7. Okay, so if we rewrite it again, if you still remember, we separate the number. Okay, so it will become the same number. So if we write 5 over 5, that is the same with 1, right class? Okay, so 5 and 3 over 5, if you recall our first example. Okay, so before we proceed with multiplication, we replace this number with the same number of denominator. So times, so here 2, that is 6 over 3, which is equal to 2 plus 1/3. Okay, then the next proper fraction. Here 3, so we have, oops, I think this is 7. Okay, we have an error pala. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, going back to example, this is 7. This is supposed to be 7. Okay, so if we have 7, so if we recall our example, that is 21 over 7, which is equal to 3. And our denominator is 3 over 7. So same number of denominator. Okay, before you proceed, okay, let's simplify. Okay, so we add right away. That is 8 over 5 times, that is 7 over 3 times, here we have 24 over 7. So what we're going to do is we apply again the cancelling method. Here we can say if we cancel 3 to 24, this will become 1, and the remaining here, this will become 8. So since we divide only 24 over 3 and 7, makakancel lang din yung 7. This will become 1 and this will become 1 also. So the remaining, that is 8 times 1 times 8, and the denominator will become 5 times 1, nakancel na kasi, times 1. So anong magiging result nito? So 8 times 8, that is 64, and this will become 5. Okay, so this is a proper fraction. So the numerator is greater than the denominator. So we need to present or write it in a proper fraction. Okay, so or we can say that is equal to 12 4/5. 12 and 4 and 1/5. So that is our improper fraction. These are improper fraction, a mixed fraction form. Okay, let's move to our next example. Sample number 6. Okay, so we are asked to simplify 3 over 7 divided by 12 over 21. Okay, so we need to write this into fraction form. So okay, so if we have 3 over 7 divided by 12 over 21, or we can say that that is 3 over 7 all over 12 over 21. Multiplying both numerator and denominator by the reciprocal of the denominator. So, multiplying both numerator and denominator by the reciprocal means we need to carry out going up the denominator of the denominator. Okay, so we multiply. What will happen next? Okay, we will have a 3 over 7 multiply the reciprocal, or we can simply multiply 3 over 7 by 21. But the method is we need to multiply the numerator. We need to multiply both numerator and denominator by the reciprocal of denominators. Okay, so we have 3 over 7 times the reciprocal of your denominator, that is 21 over 12. Then at your denominator, that is 12 over 21 times the reciprocal of this fraction, that is 21 over 12. When we say reciprocal, it is the opposite. Kabaliktaran. Reciprocal. Binaliktad mo. For example, we have 12 over 21. When we say reciprocal of 12 over 21, it means it is the inverted or kabaliktaran of this fraction. So it will have 21 over 12. Okay. So doing the same process again. The cancelling process. Okay, so if we cancel this 3 and 12, this will become 1 and this will become 4. And if we cancel 7, this will become 1, 7 and 21, this will become 3. Same at below. So since they are less reciprocal, all this one, this will become 1. This will become 1, it will become 1. Cancel out lang siya. So therefore, the denominator side will all become 1. 1 times 1 over 1 is still 1. Okay, so here we have 1, 1, 3, and 4. So we have 3 fourth. Or any number divided multiply 1 is still the same. So we have 3 fourth as your answer. So this method can be remembered by the rule. We invert the second fraction and change the operation from division to multiplication. Okay, so there are alternative way in solving this one. For example, if we're going to go back to 3 over 7 divided by 12 and 21, so we have an alternative method for that. So we 3 over 7, again, we change the operation from division to multiplication, thus giving of course it will be the invert the second fraction. Before you can proceed to multiplication, you need to invert or get the reciprocal of the second fraction, that will become 21 over 12. Okay, then proceed with the cancelling method. Again, we cancel out this one. This will become 1. This will become 4. If we cancel 21 by 7, it will become 3 and 7 become 1. So, and direct multiplication again. So, that is 3 over 7. We multiply this one and we multiply this one. So, we have the same answer. Okay? The process, step number 1 we did. is we get the reciprocal. We multiply both numerator and denominator by the reciprocal of our denominator. Still, we get the 3/4 fraction answer. At the second step, before we can proceed to the multiplication, we simply get the reciprocal of the second fraction. Here, binaliktad natin. So that is 21/12. Then proceed to the multiplication. But before proceeding with multiplication, you need to apply the cancelling method. Okay, so you cancel out 12 by 3 to 1 and 4, and you cancel out 21 by 7 to 1 and 3. Still the same. Okay, so let's move on to the next sample. Sample number 7. Find the value 5 and 3/5 divided by 7 and 1/3. So mixed fraction siya. Kanina, simple fraction lang siya. The same process, class. The mixed number must be expressed in a proper fraction first. Okay? So, the same. If we have 5 3/5 divided by 7 and 1/3, can say, so if we're going to recall the process, we can have a, so we need to remove, it will become 5. Okay, so that is 28/5 divided by 22/3. Okay, again, before you proceed to multiplication, you need to get the reciprocal of their second fraction. That is 28/5 is 3/22. Okay, so cancelling. So you cannot cancel this one since it's 5 and 3. About here? Ooh, I think we can. If we cancel a top pack, we have the remaining. Ayun, we still have here. Will become 14. Cancel out this one, will become 11. Okay. So the remaining multiply 3 this will become 48, and this become 55. Okay. 48/55 our proper fraction. Let's move on to our next example. Okay, simplify 1/3 minus the quantity of 2/5 plus 1/4 divided by the quantity of 3/8 times 1/4. So we have a bracket. So the order of precedence before we can operate this fraction, before we solve, is we need to contain the fraction in same as for integer. For example, remember, so here we don't know which one to start first, so we need to follow the BODMAS. Yes, I think that was correct. Ayun, okay. So BODMAS, we start with the bracket followed with the of, and then proceed with the division, then multiplication, then addition, and of course the last one, your subtraction. Thus, this will give you order of precedence, the order that you will to deal with, the order of this fraction. So unahin mo yung may mga bracket muna. So we'll start with the bracket. So 1/3 minus 2/5 plus 1/4 divided by 3/8 times 1/3. So unahin mo daw yung may mga bracket muna. So huwag mo munang galawin yung walang bracket. Okay, so here Same method. So LCM niya is 20, 2 times 4 times 2 plus 5 times 1. Divide here, the LCM is 3, that is 24. 3 times 3, and your 20 times 1. Okay. This will become 1/3, 8, 540 over 20. Here, I think we need to simplify further this portion. It will become 3 over 24. So if we reduce this one, it's become 1, 3 over 24, magiging 8 siya. So magiging 1 over 8 na siya. 1 over 8. Okay, so the next one is of division na tayo. Before, so we need to deal this part. So magiging 1 over 3. Again, before you proceed to multiplication, you need to get the invert or the reciprocal. That is 13, 20. So the reciprocal will become 8 over 1. Okay, simple. Diretso pa rin sa process. Then, cancel out. Need to cancel this out. This will become 2, become 5. So that is 13. So 1 over 3. That is, if you multiply this one, it will become 26. This one is 5. Remain 5. Okay. So again, your multiplication is done. Addition, then you can proceed with the subtraction. Here, can save. Then less common LCM is 15. So this will become 5 times 1 minus 3 times 26. So this will become 5 minus 26. I think that is okay. So it will become our LCM. You have 78 over 15. Then this will become 73 over 15. So finally, we have an answer of 73 over 15. We can still rewrite this into improper fraction. You can say we can have a 4/13 over 15 for our improper form. Don't forget the negative sign. Okay, for our last example, for the fraction, we need to determine, actually it's the same process, just follow the order of precedence, okay? The BODMAS, okay? Start, so we are asked to determine the value of 7 over 6 of, so we have an of, the quantity of 3 and 1/2 minus 2 and 1/4 plus 5 over 1/8 minus 3 over 16 minus 1/2. So we rewrite the question. We have 7 over 6 of the quantity 3 1/2 minus 2 1/4 plus 5 1 over 8 divided by 3 over 16 minus 1 half. Okay. B. Recall our order of precedence in solving this one. So we recall the BODMAS order of precedence. Okay, let's start with the bracket. Bracket muna. Becomes 7 over 6 of, if we deal with the bracket, we can say, okay, the same process. It will give us what? If we deal with our bracket first, you can see it's obvious. That is 1 and 1/4. Okay, that is 3 minus 2, 1 and 1 over 1/4. Okay. Then, plus what? We don't have a bracket no more. Huh? We already eliminated it, the bracket. Of plus 41 over 8. Yun, tama. Then, copy the division. That is 3 over 16 minus 1 half. Then, that is for your B pa lang yun. Inuna natin yung bracket. So, this neds is off. Okay, so you need to deal with this 7 of 1/4. It will become 7 over 6 times 5/4 plus 41 over 8 divided by 3 over 16 minus 1 half. So, na-eliminate na natin yung off. Then, division. Yung division naman na part here. So, 7 over 6 times 5 over 4. So, division apart. So, cancel out ka dito. So, it will become... Oh, first, before you can proceed to the division, you need to get the reciprocal. So, that is 41 over 8 times 16 over 3. So, nireciprocal muna natin dito before we can proceed to our multiplication, our D. So, cancel out 8 will become 2. This will become 1. Okay. What is the remaining? 7 over 6 times 5 over 4 plus 41 over 1. What is this one? 41. I think we need to multiply it right away so to make it clear. Okay, so since we cancel out 16 of our 8, it will become 1, this will become 2. Then we multiply the fraction. We have 41 times 2, that is 82. Then the same, 3 minus 1 half. So what is the next one? BODMAS. Then multiplication. So ito na. So sa multiplication, here, before you can proceed again, multiplication, that is 7, that's 5, that will become, we multiply it right away. This will become 7 times, that is 35, 6 times 4, so that is 24, plus 82 over 3 minus 1 half. Okay, tapos na tayo sa multiplication. Anong sunod? Addition. So, addition. Ito na naman yung addition na susunod natin. Okay, so if we add, that is, it will become 35 multiply 656 over 24, okay, minus 1 half. Okay, then proceed with the sub addition. So addition, this will become 35 plus 656. It will become 691 over 24 minus 1 half. Ay, malapit na. Okay. Then, to become 691 minus, of course, cancel out. Magiging 12 siya. Then 24. Kinuha mo yung LCM mo. Then finally, your answer is 679 from minus 12 and 24. Or the mixed fraction is, can convert it to 28 7 over 24. So our answer is 679 over 24. Or in MX format, that is 28 7 over 24. Okay, I hope it's clear. So our next topic is ratio and proportion.